Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is a news related video for the Disney company. I am Dash Shaw Rose here. I am back to talk about Disney. This time we actually have some good news for them. Yes, good news. This is actually very rare for these days for Disney. I'll be talking about the good news first. Unfortunately, there is bad news though too, but this is not surprising to a lot of people, but apparently it is surprising to people. About something that happened behind the scenes. They got busted for, but I'm going to talk about the good news first. So, you guys know the drill. If you guys want to be notified for future news-related videos, subscribe to my channel. I'm aiming for 1K subs. I'm getting there, still way off, but I do appreciate the videos. The people who are, tuning into my videos. And, I'm happy that I'm at 404 subs. Thank you guys for the support. And all that. And if you guys are not interested in these videos, you can check out my reviews. You can check out that. You can check out my, I've been doing some gameplay stuff. You can check out that. I do a lot of things. So, yes. Anywho, let's go ahead and get started. So, I want to talk about Inside Out 2. Now, you guys know the first Inside Out movie. The first one did really well. It was really well received. A lot of people really liked the first one. But the thing is, though, the second one, that was announced, people were not very happy. Like, they weren't really mad that they were making it. I wasn't really mad either. I was just like, I was not sure what to think about the movie. I have not seen the movie. I'm waiting for it to come out on DVD. I'll buy it on DVD because I do not have the money right now to go to the theaters. If I were to go to the theaters, I would support more original stuff, and all that because, I like them making original movies. Like last year, I went to see Elemental. That movie was all right. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was just, it was all right. I know people were all over the place with that movie. That goes with Turning Red, too. Turning Red, I thought was okay, too. I thought Turning Red was better than Elemental, but I thought the love sequences with Elemental was good and all that. I just thought it was a little bit boring, and I kind of didn't like how they started like Wang and Ember's relationship. I thought they did it better in the trailers, but it was still an alright movie. I definitely don't mind watching it again. Heck, I watched it with my family on my mother's side. And all that. I just didn't get it finished because I was going to the bathroom. But I did watch a lot of it. And all that. So, yeah, but Pixar, a lot of people are talking about how it has a downfall on it. It's fallen off the cliff. I will say Pixar as a studio has fallen off the cliff since Disney acquired them. I've talked about this before. I know people are sick of me talking about this, but I'm going to keep bringing it up because I thought that this was really cool that they had this back in the day. Disney, used to have their own custom intro for Pixar. I comment on people's videos and stuff like that. I point that out, like how they Disney used to have their, a different intro, and people are thinking, well, I say Pixar did because, Pixar was its own company back then, but I should say Disney did. Pixar still has the same, typical lamp logo and all that. They've been using that since Toy Story. And now their logo changed too, but one thing that Disney had with Pixar was it had its own custom intro that they used from Toy Story to Ratatouille, and they used it in a few shorts. There was even a short after Ratatouille they used it. But by the time they got to WALL-E, they swapped the logo out. I really hated that they did that because, I don't know, it really bugs me that I watch reactors react to these movies and they can't watch the movie with the logo. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it was such a great logo and they barely used it, and, And I like watching people react to like Toy Story or, Monsters Inc. or something. I can't see people look at the intro like that, it sucks. That was one thing I didn't like. And yeah, their movie started kind of going downhill after Disney did acquire them, but I don't think they were that bad. Like, they didn't get bad until, they had a few bad ones here, a few alright ones here and there. But they didn't get bad until, I thought they started going downhill, like Incredibles. Because when Incredibles came out, the movie, in my opinion, was alright. A lot of people hated it, but to me, it was alright. I know a lot of people technically didn't care for a lot of the sequels that Pixar made, but that one was one that people didn't really like, and people can have their own opinion, that's fine, but they definitely went downhill with that, because after that they also released Toy Story 4, which that movie was an absolute disaster. I heard a lot of people did not like that movie. It did very well, but a lot of people didn't like it. They didn't like it. Some people liked it because, it was focusing on Bonnie and all that. But people like me didn't like it because I didn't like what they did to the characters. I didn't like how most of them were pushed aside and all of that. And then we had them pushed aside, and then we had, because the voice actors passed away over the years and all that. When that movie came out, we already lost the voice actor of Mr. Potato Head, and we lost the voice actor of, Slinky and all that, so that was kind of, the thing there, and we also lost the voice actors of the Army guys, because, Lee or something, I forgot what his name was, Robert Lee or whatever his name was, I don't remember his name, he did a lot of military sergeant voice actors, it was pretty nice, but he passed away, and so clearly they had to do something with it, but at that point, I'm just like, if you're gonna make a fourth one, just replace the voice actors, the Army guys didn't even appear in the movie, but they made stuff like that, and then I didn't like how Woody was pushed aside, and I didn't like how they made the doll kind of the leader. It felt very forced. And Woody's always been the leader of the toys, and it just comes out of nowhere. And it felt more like they were trying to push, gender, stuff and all that in the movie with that part. I did like what they did with Bo Peep by, bringing her back, but I didn't like how they handled that either. By making her kind of just leave Woody and all that, that felt out of character for her, but I don't know, but that movie was just bad, and then they made Onward was boring, and they had a couple of good movies, like Soul and Luca were actually really good. Then they kind of went downhill with and all that. But they've been making some good movies here and there, and the movies are not all of them are awful. But a lot of people, I can understand why they think, with Pixar, they've kind of gone downhill. But compared to other Disney products, at least they're not, destroying a lot of the character, a lot of properties they own. With, Star Wars and Marvel, they're freaking, rewriting shit and changing them up and ruining them. At least with Pixar, I think Pixar, the thing is they still have some control over their on some stuff, They still control, some things with Pixar, so Pixar, although Disney bought them out, they still, I think, have some control over stuff, even with John Lasseter being gone, but yeah, that's the thing, I don't think they've fallen as bad, but then we get to Inside Out 2, and people were not sure what to think of it, because, the trailers looked very good, I will say that, and a lot of other people agreed, but they weren't sure what to think about it, because they've had some good trailers in the past and some movies, and they go into them and not really like it, but the thing is though, is this movie actually is doing really well. It is doing really well. It is doing really well. It's very popular. It's doing well. Unfortunately, though, because it's a sequel, the sequel has to do which is going to make them think they need to make more sequels. They already have some they are announcing. They're announcing making a Toy Story 5, a Cars 4. Yeah, they're making a Cars 4. Like we need another freaking Cars movie. The third one was not like bad, but it definitely felt unnecessary. Like it's one of those movies I thought was good, but I didn't feel like. I think it would have been better off not if it didn't exist at all. You know, like they did throw like Doc Hudson in there and kind of put some clips in there of him and all that. But even though the voice actor passed away in the first movie, but I didn't really think it was necessary and all that. And yeah, I don't know. The Cars franchise is probably my least favorite franchise in Pixar, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was good, but and probably the best of them, but still not great. Like it's not great. It was just like it was the least frustrating one. Like I would say the first one would probably be my favorite if it weren't frustrating, but I don't know. But the thing is though, they're making that, and I think they're making a Monsters Inc. 2 as well. So they're going back to making sequels, something they were actually going away from. And people are pointing, like I was commenting about that, and people responds and says, that basically they were taking a break from them. And I mean, I don't mind them making sequels to some of this stuff, but we don't need a freaking Toy Story 5. Like, the way it sounds with Toy Story 5. Now, I mean, again, it could be good like this, but the thing is with a Toy Story 5, though, is, it's just like where can they really go from there, I think they've already wrapped it up. With Toy Story 4, even though the movie was bad, they still had things they could put in there. Like they brought back Bo Peep, and they focused on Bonnie. I mean, I guess they could maybe focus on the toys going on another adventure, but the way it sounds like what they're gonna do is they're gonna bring back Andy, and they're gonna try to they're gonna retcon the fourth movie, like bringing Woody back and all that, and And I mean, don't get me wrong. I felt like Woody. I was one of the people that didn't mind Woody leaving. I felt like him spending with Bo was kind of a nice send off. A lot of people didn't like it because they didn't like it because he was basically in Woody was kind of treated like scum and all throughout the movie. People didn't like I told you guys, I didn't like the way they made him not the leader of the toys. They made this random doll. Well, I shouldn't say she was random. She was in the last, the third movie, but they made her kind of just they put her in there out of nowhere and made her the leader because I knew what they were doing. They were trying to throw in like girl power and all that, and I'm just stop doing that, There's plenty of things where we have female roles and all that. We don't need to change something silly like that to I don't know. It was just stupid. It wasn't like a big thing, but it definitely kind of felt like a big middle finger to Woody and for people who grew up with the first three movies, why can't Woody just be the leader, And if they want to make the doll the leader, that's fine, but I don't know. I'm like, well, I guess take that back. I think it would have made more sense to make Buzz the leader, though, because Buzz is like the closest thing, to Woody, so you think they'd make him the leader, but I don't know. I don't know. But I will say that, yes, Inside Out 2 is definitely doing really well, and a lot of people like it, and I haven't seen it, but I've watched reviewers that I'm subscribed to review it, and I trust them. They're honest. They're always honest with their videos. Well, most of them. There's some people I'm subscribed to, but I don't watch their videos much anymore. One of them, his name's like Dave Down and Under or something like that. I used to like his videos, but he gets kind of pissy. He's one of those. I think he's like one of those, die-hard fans of Disney and all that or something like that. I don't mind if people want to be die-hard fans of Disney or Nickelodeon or something, but I'm just you be respectful to other people, and he gets salty with people's opinions, and when he reviews something, he doesn't really, you can tell he's trying not to say anything like bad about the reviews, and it just kind of sucks. It's because he gets early access. People like that get early access to stuff and all that, and I'm just like, well, what's the point of that if you're just gonna lie to your audience? What's the point? Then people aren't gonna want to watch your shit because you lie all the time. And he said like he's responded to one of my comments and said like, well, I'm not being rude to people are being rude to me or something like that. I'm like you're kind of sitting there, running your mouth and all that. And I mean, I even watched one of his reviews on, well, actually, I don't know, not reviews. I mean, I watched one of his, he did a reaction video to someone talking about The Last Jedi and all that, and he kind of, the way he was saying it and all that kind of felt disrespectful, and pointing out that, George Lucas sold the company and that it's his fault. I'm like, yeah, he sold the company, but it ain't his fault that Star Wars, is a piece of shit now, and, and you got people that don't care about, continuity and all that, It's kind of like if you were, if someone were to retcon, someone's, work after they pass away or something, it's just like, I mean, it's just as bad, even though the person's not around anymore, keeping their work alive and not ruining it, that's being respectful. And that's the problem, though, it's like, I think that's just a stupid thing to say, but yeah, I don't watch his videos much anymore. I tried giving him a chance, but I don't know, I'm just not really a big fan of him. I watched his evolution videos, but now I kind of just don't watch him anymore. I'm just not into his videos because of the things he said. But again, I don't mind if people like or dislike something. I mean, I don't like the Walt Disney Company anymore. And Nickelodeon, I'm kind of, I think it's an alright company, but I don't think it's as good as it used to be, which is under Paramount. But people can like or hate what they want to like as long as they're being respectful. But I don't know. But basically, I was going to say, I have seen people review this, this movie, and it's actually doing really well, which is good. But I do feel like this might be a problem for, sequels and all that. And just because this movie is doing well does not mean that Disney is gonna, go back to, making bad movies again. Because they've done this before. I just mentioned Star Wars. They were making the movies. They were making this show called I'm trying to remember what it was called. The Mandalorian. That's what it was called. The Mandalorian. And people who were pissed off at Disney for the sequel trilogy, they went back and fixed all of it. Well, for the first 2 seasons, then they went back and basically screwed it all up again. And they've done this crap with a lot of their Star Wars. So people are just burned out on that stuff anyway, but because they're making too much of it. But when you ruin work and all that George Lucas made and people adore, then that just makes people not want to watch your stuff. But but the thing is though, if they could continue making movies that are actually good, then people would tune in more. Because honestly, they've got to make some money back, because this company is going bankrupt. It is bankrupt. I've told people before, people have responded, Disney's not going to go bankrupt. Disney's got all the money and all that. They really don't have that much money. They're losing money. And the thing is, though, even if their movies are not doing bad, they're still struggling with other stuff. I think they own too much stuff. I will say that they own way too much stuff. Because honestly, they have to make movies and shows and all that off of properties they own. So like Fox, because they bought out Fox back in 2019. They got Fox. They obviously own Pixar now. Well, Pixar and Disney have been teaming up for a while, but they bought them out, so they're in charge of making money. And the thing is, though, is they have to be in charge of making toys and all that too. And they have to make toys and have to pay. Well, they have to pay money and all that, because I think the way studios work, I could be wrong about this, but I think the way they work is, when a company buys out them, they have to go and the company that buys them out is in charge of paying for a lot of this stuff. I know they're paying to they're paying to air the stuff and all that and putting it in theaters. But I don't know about promoting stuff because I think though when you make movies or shows, when you promote stuff, they have toys and all that, and because I think I remember that with Nickelodeon. Yeah, that's like with Danny Phantom. Butch Hartman, borrowed a lot of money from with Nickelodeon and all that, and he was gonna make some toys and all that, and never did. So I think they canceled the show because of that. Danny Phantom was actually a pretty good show. It had some problems, but it was still a pretty good show. But my thing is, though, when you borrow like money and all that, the company has to pay for it. And that's the thing, though. Even though Disney owns all this crap now, even if their stuff does good, they have to pay to promote it and all that. And I just think it's more overwhelming. Like when you own all this crap, like you own Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Fox and all that, you gotta like keep track of all that. It just makes it more overwhelming, and there's also gonna be less likely to be more original stuff. Have you ever noticed like when Disney bought out Fox? Have you noticed that there's not been as much original stuff? There's been original movies, yes, even under Fox, but there's not been as much. That's because they have all these franchises they have to pay and promote. Like, because people borrow money for this stuff, and, that causes them not to be able to make as much stuff because they can't afford to be making all this stuff. So, yeah, clearly it's not just, the movie's doing well would definitely help, but it's not really going to completely fix the problem. I think they definitely gotten too big, and not to mention you got their parks, too. Their parks are not doing well. Because Epic Universe is getting ready to open up. Epic Universe is opening up, and it's going to be opening up next year. And Disney does not have a lot going for it. They opened their Tiana ride, but that basically is a rethemed version of Splash Mountain, something people actually liked. It's supposed to be based off the Song of the South. Which that movie I hear that people didn't like it, not because it was racist, but because it was boring. But I don't know. I can't say anything. I have not seen the movie, but I do know people like the ride, and Disney rethemed it into a cheaper version of it, and and people like Princess and the Frog, but still, it's just kind of sad, when they do that stuff because they get rid of things people grew up liking and all that. And I need to make changes sometimes, but something like that didn't need to be changed. They could have kept it and just maybe they could have made a Tiana ride somewhere else or something. I don't know. It just kind of sucks, but yeah, they're just not doing that good. And the thing is though, I will say with Inside Out 2 actually doing really well, this is a good sign that can help make some money, but I don't know if this actually means they're gonna fix anything or not. That's the problem. Even last year they had a couple good things. They had the Haunted Mansion remake. Well, I heard some mixed opinions on that one, but I did hear a lot of people did like that movie too. But they didn't promote it very well, so it made it look like it did bad. But people actually liked it. And then and then they had and they had a movie, Then they had like a short towards the end of the year before Wish came out. That did very well. People liked it. So they made a few things. So there's people in there that actually care about this stuff and want to make good stuff for people to enjoy. But the problem is a lot of people in the company do not care anymore. And they feel like they're definitely erasing Walt Disney stuff because But basically Bob Iger, thinks he's Disney. He thinks he's Walt Disney himself, and it could explain too why, because if you buy some DVDs, there's some DVDs I bought one of them had it was a 100th anniversary one, and I noticed that Walt Disney's the logo they used in that movie. It's still there, so they didn't bother replastering it. But they basically plastered they've been plastering like the Lion King. They plastered the logo on it, and they plastered the logo of on other films too. Like I think Hercules, they plastered it. So they've been kind of erasing things people grew up with. Like I gotta say, I mean I know that again the intros and all that are not the biggest part of movies and shows and all that, but they really mean a lot to people. It's like if for example DreamWorks were to go, because DreamWorks doesn't really do this that I'm aware of. Like if DreamWorks were to go and go through all their movies and get rid of the classic logo and all that with the new one, like the new one that it's like the 2006 one, or I mean 2006. I mean the brand new one that just came out with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and all that. That would be people would be upset about that because they can't enjoy the films the way they grew up with it. So. I mean, that's the thing, though, is that they've been doing that, and they've also replaced Walt's name in the new intro and all that, and people are pissed, and I mean, I just don't like that. I mean, I even read comments on this stuff. People are definitely sick of Disney going and erasing all this older stuff, But, I don't know, but if Disney would go back and listen to their fans and get the fans what they want, instead of just trying to, pander to an audience that probably isn't there or is very small, then people will probably like their stuff more. But the thing is, though, there's also another thing that they've kind of done too that I want to talk about before I do let this video go. So you guys know how there's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff going on with Disney and all. There's a bunch of behind the scenes. Well, one of the guys from, I saw this video, it's on X. X, that used to be called Twitter. For some reason, it's called X now. But basically, some guy, from that worked at Disney. I think he was the CEO of 20th Century Studios, which is something Disney owns. Basically, he talked about his mouth and all that, and runs someone has a video camera and is hiding it, and he got busted because basically I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about basically all the crap we've been complaining about as fans with the Walt Disney Company itself, and and what they've done to Fox when they bought out Fox. When they bought out Fox, they replaced voice actors who don't match the skin color, which makes absolutely no sense because I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind. I think it is kind of a little weird having different people, different skin color people, voicing characters. But again, it's a cartoon, because I found that out about Cleveland Brown. I thought it was a little weird at first. But I didn't mind it too much. It just shocked me, But then they go around and they replace, they have an actual black person, voice Cleveland. They have an actual Chinese person voicing, Amy's dad on Futurama and that shit. It pisses me off. It just pisses me off because this is the same company that goes around and freaking and does this stuff with their live action movies all the damn time. They do this all the damn time. They'll literally go on and they'll for example we had the Little Mermaid movie that came out last year. It came out last year and people are not happy because they race swapped her and she became a black lady instead of a redhead and all that, and I'm just why do that? Why do that? Why not just make a freaking brand new movie? Why race swap it? I've had some people say too in some of their videos about that they've done this in the past. These movies are based off of books and all that, and that's true. But the whole point of the live action remakes is to capture them the way they were before. And doing this makes no sense. It'd be the same thing if they freaking made they had an American person playing Moana, because they didn't make a live action Moana movie, or they have, a white person, playing, they have a white person playing, what's her, Tiana from, Princess and the Frog. It would make no sense. That's the problem, though. It doesn't make any sense for them to do that, and then they go to turn around and freaking have voice actors, have to play voice actors who match the skin color have to play these specific characters, which makes no sense because again, it's just so stupid, And again, like I said, they're and you can't even tell the voice actors are different skin colors. So why the hell does it matter, They still feel like the characters. But here they don't. Here they do this. It pisses me off. It pisses a lot of people off. And people are throwing a fit. Some people are throwing a fit and being like all upset because we don't like the movie. I mean, that's not why we don't like the movies. I mean, even then, some people have actually liked the live-action Little Mermaid movie, even though, they changed the skin color, people still like it. It doesn't mean you're a racist or a bigot. But that's the problem, that they freaking do this stuff all the time. And when we have the guy, the CEO from Fox, we have him coming out and saying, running his mouth about women and all that, and not having, not being leaders or something like that. I don't remember what he said. It just it was a few days ago, but it's just but I could do a whole video just talking about it, but it's on X. You can check it out. I think it's still there. But yeah, basically, he got caught, and honestly, I feel like he might get fired, and and Bob Iger and all of them might blame him and all that, and it was a mistake, and even though they're all doing the exact same bullshit and it's just an endless cycle, and it's frustrating. If they could go back and make good films again, like Inside Out 2, that people actually like, and content, the Disney company would be much better. I mean, sure, if they even making good content, it'd still be nice if they would bring back older stuff people grew up with, like hand-drawn animation, bring back Walt's name in the intro, because honestly, it just saying Disney, it just, it looks so empty and all that, that would make more sense. But I don't know what to say there. It's just kind of what it is, but yeah, that's kind of the thing, though, is you got people in the company that don't seem to care. I mean, there's a handful of them that do still care, but a lot of them kind of left the company because the company got so bad, and they ended up going to Skydance, which is part of the Paramount now. I think Paramount ended up getting Skydance, or some of them go to Netflix, or they end up going to DreamWorks or something. Because Disney's just hard to work with now. They're hard to work with, and that's because you got people like that guy, running his mouth and all that, and saying stupid stuff like that. Why would I want to work for someone like that? It makes no sense, But that's the thing, though. A lot of the companies, do that, and it's not just Disney. Other of them do that too, but Disney is just the worst of them, I feel. They do this crap literally all the time, and people are just fed up with it. People are going other places that get treated better. But, yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to probably go ahead and end up letting this video go. I just wanted to talk about Inside Out, too, but I didn't want to fill this in because I don't remember the name of the guy, but he is the CEO of 20th Century Studios, which was formerly known as 20th Century Fox, but Disney bought it out and rebranded it, and it just kind of sucks now, But I am looking forward to checking this movie out when it does come out on DVD, this Inside Out 2 movie. But I'll see you all later. Have a nice, wonderful day. See you next time.